I'm on my way. I'm on my way. Home, sweet home. I would sing the next part, but you get the idea. I'm doing my thoughts going into home because it is coming out this weekend. For once, I don't have to do what my thoughts on the first one were. Yay! An original film or not. I mean, Home, in case you don't know, it's basically, from what I can gather on the trailers, it's about an alien who... It's basically E.T. if no one liked him. Like, not sure if you've seen the Robot Chicken sketch, but it implies that they left E.T. on Earth because they didn't like him. Well, here it's the same thing. This is like the guy with the good heart, but he's always screwing everything up and everyone hates him, and he lands on Earth where he befriends a little girl. And I mean, maybe there might be something there, but it doesn't look particularly interesting. I mean, it doesn't look awful or offensive. I mean, this doesn't. I don't think this is going to be like one of the worst films of 2015. I don't even think it'll be like one of the worst animated films. I mean, like SpongeBob movie, Strange Magic, Hotel Transylvania 2. I think those have pretty much covered what could make up the worst. But it just doesn't look particularly interesting. I mean, it's a lot more of stuff we've seen from DreamWorks before, the kind of meh films. I mean, I have yet to see How to Train Your Dragon 2, so I can't vouch, but I've heard it's wonderful, but I mean, outside of that, DreamWorks hasn't really had a hit, and the last two films I saw, the most recent films I've seen from them, Turbo and The Croods, really didn't impress me. I was just sort of like, eh. I mean, I didn't hate him, but it was a one and done deal. It's like I saw it once, probably will never see it again. Probably won't remember it in a year. Especially Turbo, that was kind of forgettable. Although I surprisingly enjoyed it more than The Croods, but I digress. And I feel like Home's going to be a very similar way. Like, there's nothing about this film that looks particularly interesting. I mean, there's a couple amusing jokes, but it's more or less the same DreamWorks formula we've come to know by now. Comedy, some pop culture references. I mean, oh my gosh, I forget. There was some really obnoxious pop culture jokes in there. Oh yeah, there was this pun about throw your hands in the air like you just don't care. And yeah. I mean, who knows? Maybe there's something in the movie that the trailers aren't showing. Maybe this is just bad marketing and this is like the next big hit for DreamWorks. I mean, Croods did really well. But at the same time, also Peabody and Sherman didn't do very well, and both those films came out in the same month. If I were to say one thing for the film, two things. First off, congratulations, Steve Martin, you're still getting work. I mean, this is a guy who, I want to say he's past his prime, but there was a time when Steve Martin would do a lot of big films, and he would just be a huge actor. I mean, he was in stuff like Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, and now, like, I don't really see him in movies more, so it's nice. I mean, even if he's just doing voice work, it's nice to see him again in film. And also, like, it's a progressive animated film. I mean, we have an African-American female protagonist, which Princess and the Frog did, but it's still nice to see it. And, like, they don't seem to be doing any racial... From the looks of it, first off, you have a female protagonist. Second, she's African-American. And it doesn't seem like they're addressing that concept, though. Like, the fact that she's African-American, like, and they're not stereotyping. Kind of like how Princess and the Frog didn't even bring up the race issue, although there were certain elements of Tiana's character that were kind of like, okay, an African-American in that time period might be doing this stuff. With Home, I really haven't yet to see her doing anything that stereotypes her as a typical African-American. So, I guess that's a point in the Home's favor, but even so, that's not much. Financially, I don't think the film's going to be a huge hit. I mean, I'm sure there's tons of little kids who are going to go see it. I mean, there aren't that many family films out right now. I mean, Cinderella is out, but that's been out for a while now. I feel like most of the people who wanted to see that have already seen it, or might see it again. But at the same time, like, again, this film isn't really selling it. It's just going to get the kiddies. With Cinderella, like, there's an appeal there where you're going to attract, like, some older audiences, specifically older girls. Whereas Home, you're just getting the kids. So there isn't a widespread enough appeal. Like, because with some animated films, you get more people in there than just the little kids, like How to Train Your Dragon 2, the Lego Movie. Big Hero 6. Like, these are big films that, because they were, and also they are attached to someone with credibility. Not to say that DreamWorks doesn't have credibility, but recently they haven't been like the major rival that they used to be. So, because of that, I don't think they're going to bring in big bucks. It's probably going to make the top 3 of the box office, but I wouldn't be surprised if it's not going to make number 1. It'll probably make number 3 if it's lucky, it'll 2, but I wouldn't be surprised if Cinderella and Home just continue to hold the top 2. I mean, unless there's like something coming out this weekend that I can't remember. So lastly, I need to answer if I'm going to go see this film, and that's a tough answer. I mean, the answer is I'm not going to see it because it's not interesting, but I should be seeing it. And you should see it if you value DreamWorks at all, like even if you don't care for their stuff, because I'm not sure if you realize this, but DreamWorks hasn't been doing that well. I mean, most of their films recently have not made a lot of money. I mean, like, they've underperformed, they've gotten really mixed reviews, like they have had very few hits. Even How to Train Your Dragon 2, while that did pretty well at the box office, and while it did get pretty good reviews and a lot of acclaim, it still wasn't quite the hit DreamWorks wanted. I mean, it constantly was overshadowed by 20 other summer blockbusters upon release. Like, when it first came out, like, 22 Jump Street, like, was number 1 in the box office, like, the first 2 weeks, and Dragon 2 never stood a chance, which is a shame, because, like, I was really surprised that Dragon 2 did not do well. I mean, it got well received, but it didn't, like, make as much money as I thought it would. And I'm trying to think. But, yeah, DreamWorks, because of all these, like, poor box office performances, DreamWorks has had to lay people off. They've had to fire a bunch of people. They've had to scale the number of films they're doing back to like 2 a year, which is good because I always thought it was a bit ridiculous that they were going to do 3 a year. And also some projects they've planned have gotten canceled. I mean, like, which some of them are just them panicking, like Madagascar 4, Puss in Boots 2. But earlier back, they had some really interesting projects that got canceled just because they had to lay the people off who were working on those projects. One particularly interesting one was this one called Me and My Shadow, which would have been a computer animated film about this guy's relationship with his shadow, who would be animated in the style of hand-drawn animation. And that sounded really interesting. But unfortunately, that project's sort of been like scrapped or put on hold due to, like, again, DreamWorks losing layoffs. And there was a film called Boo that came out that was planned for this year now. They probably were pretty far into it, so I don't know if they're going to release it at some point. But yeah, like, the point is, projects at DreamWorks are getting scrapped. And while DreamWorks doesn't make great films all the time, they have made some really good films in the past. They have made a couple good films recently. And they're the one studio that can sometimes rival Disney and Pixar, and I don't want to see them go. I want to see them continue to succeed, and I'm positive within the next 5 to 10 years they're going to make, like, other films that are really good. I mean, already Kung Fu Panda 3, How to Train Your Dragon 3 sound really promising. And I don't want to see projects like that never see the light of day because DreamWorks gets shut down. So I'm going to ask you, if you have time, please go see this film, not because you think it's going to be good, but because you value DreamWorks. If you want DreamWorks to continue, if you want to see them succeed, go support this film. DreamWorks needs all the financial support they can get, all the confidence boosts they can get. I mean, I don't think DreamWorks is hopeful about this film. I mean, by the time they, like, changed, like, their plan as how they're going to release films going forward, this film was so far into production, they just had to go with it. But please just give DreamWorks some money. I mean, and if you do like the film, please make a review of it, post on your Facebook, just let people know you had a good time with this film, so that way other people go see it, because I don't want to see Home bomb. Because if Home bombs, then DreamWorks is going to take another hit and I don't want to see DreamWorks take a hit. Also, they're probably going to show the Kung Fu Panda free trailer right before the film, and I'm looking forward to that, and I can't wait to finally get a glimpse of it. And that's all I have to say about Home. If you have anything you want to add, please leave your thoughts in the comments below. And as always, like this video, dislike it, subscribe. And as always, this is JStar360, and I will see you guys later. So until then, take care.